Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is April 26th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1877, the legend Frank Gotch. 1913, 1960s enhancement talent Tommy O'Toole. 1965, don't make fun of his favorite band 3 count or he'll knock you out, Tank Abbott. 1967, watch out for those flames, it's Glenn Kane Jacobs. And last but not least, 1970, big 7-footer Ron Reese. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for April 26th. 2014, one of the voices of pro wrestling for the 80s and 90s, Lee Marshall. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for April 26th. Taking a short trip in the Wayback Machine today and starting in 1976, the World Wide Wrestling Federation runs Madison Square Garden. In the main event, Stan Hansen defeated world champion Bruno Sammartino when the referee stopped the match due to excessive bleeding. Because there was no pinfall or submission, Sammartino retained the title. This was the bout where Hansen accidentally broke Bruno's neck with a body slam. However, the storyline would be that Hansen broke Sammartino's neck with a lariat clothesline. 1982, the WWF run an event at Madison Square Garden. In the main event, Jimmy Snuka defeated WWF World Champion Bob Backlund via DQ when Backlund refused to stop choking Snuka. After the match, Snuka would injure Backlund with a Superfly Splash, and Backlund would be carried out on a stretcher. 1986, Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, sold out for a WWF event that was headlined by World Champion Hulk Hogan versus Intercontinental Champion Randy Savage in advance, so several thousand tickets were sold for fans to watch the match on closed-circuit TV at nearby Cobo Hall. The main event saw Hogan pin Savage when he kicked Savage in the face as he dove off the top rope for a flying elbow drop. 1988 sees the Fantastics defeat the Midnight Express to win the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. 1992, Johnny Hotbody defeats Jimmy Snuka in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to win the ECW Heavyweight title, only one day after Snuka defeated Sal Belmo to become the first ECW champion. Staying in 1992, at the Boston Garden, the Ultimate Warrior defeated Sid Justice via DQ in less than 5 minutes. This would be Sid's last WWF appearance for well over 2 years. Due to the controversy regarding a drug test, Sid walked out on the company less than 1 month after headlining WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan. Sid would be replaced on house shows with Warrior against Papa Shango. Moving to 1994, at a Monday Night Raw taping, the Headshriekers, Fatu and Samu, defeated the Quebecers in Burlington, Vermont to win the WWF Tag Team titles. This would be the last duo that Captain Lou Albano would lead to the WWF Championships. Also at the taping, Earthquake, who was a legit sumo wrestler at one time, defeated Yokozuna in a sumo match in which the ropes were taken down and the winner was the first to knock the other out of the ring. 1995, Hunter Hearst Helmsley makes his WWF television debut with a win over Buck Zumhofe at a Wrestling Challenge taping. And last but not least, 1998, the WWF hold their Unforgiven pay-per-view in Greensboro, North Carolina. The pay-per-view was the first to utilize the now standard Scratch logo. In the main event, Dude Love defeated WWF champion Steve Austin via DQ when Austin hit Vince McMahon with a chair, and Gerald Briscoe ruled that Austin was disqualified for striking a WWF official. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for April 26th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.